I'm gonna be a broken record, bro, but hell no, that's all I can say leaving an episode. They're doing such a good job with the horror, and I think they probably added that little speech before the opening started playing as kind of like what's there for TV, because there's like this narrator explaining why Yayoi is basically doing what she is, and it sounds more like so anyone who's watching on TV who randomly turns on an episode of Dark Gathering gets caught up to the narrative, because that's usually why they're there, and honestly, I thought it was kind of cool. Do I need to hear it every week? No, but if that's there for people so they can jump aboard, I think that's pretty swell. But the more you see of these what the hell moments, the more I'm just like, bro, you need to just open your eyes and see this is not the girl for you. But then again, based on my own comment section, I keep getting more and more people who I'm just convinced are gonna get got someday by themselves, and I won't see them in the comments anymore because goddamn, even they're wanting Eiko, and I'm like, bruh, you gotta not stick your dick in crazy. It's the universal rule, but bless your hearts. Who knows what's gonna happen, but this was a great episode. It was spooky as hell. I thought at first our boy was getting like hair down his throat like when the dolls in the cellar did. Turns out that beast just ate him, and holy shit, if it wasn't for Yayoi and her crazy ass lines, our boy would have been a goner. Full live reaction to today's wonderful Dark Gathering episode is available on my Patreon. If you would like to see that, it is over there if you're interested. There's a lot to dive into. I think this is a brilliant episode for so many different reasons, but I honestly leave an episode like this, and I'm more convinced than ever that sooner rather than later, maybe it'll be next episode, maybe it'll be a few episodes from now, I'm probably going to put Dark Gathering as my anime of the season. And I'm talking about brand new anime, because I always say it. I think it's a little unfair when there's sequels or carryovers, because you always know your favorites are going to be good no matter what. So I always look at it as the brand new anime of the season. And I think right now it's a toss-up between Hulk and Dark Gathering for me. But right now, Dark Gathering has the edge right now, because this show gets horror right so well, because it's legitimately spooky and unnerving. And they never really go jump scares. Like, you can look at the moment where that creepy woman just like pops up on the window. It's technically a jump scare, but they don't really direct it as such. Like, they're kind of looking around, they're not sure what's going on, and they kind of slowly move the camera, and you're like, okay, what the hell is that? But you're naturally startled because you're like, man, put in that situation, yeah, I'd be a little terrified not knowing if this thing's about to pop through the window or what. And bless Yayoi, because she puts the pedal to the metal and runs that fool over, because she's like, hey, I gotta figure out, either it's gonna come into the car or we're gonna hit that fool. And honestly, now we know what type it is. Opens the door, come on in, you've won yourself a car on The Price is Right. And I'm like, bro, you need to stop. But like, I just keep seeing more and more of this, and all I can say is hell no, like, you can't even pay me enough. But what was really fun is they changed the formula up quite a bit here, because what we're used to is we go to wherever they are and we deal with the spirits. Yeah, sometimes the spirits go a little crazy at their home because, you know, they kind of fight to the death upstairs. But what's interesting is they quickly establish, and it's a nice kind of foreshadowing moment, because this spirit clearly can't come into the car unless invited. So they do that. They capture a spirit. I thought what they captured was the baby, because we see in the one picture that it's a mother holding her child. So I thought we captured the kid and the mother was the one who is still inside the car. So by Keitaro returning home and opening his door, that's inviting a spirit into his home. And they do a good job at making that a little terrifying. I thought we were going to have a repeat of a couple episodes back where the spirits were, or the humans were all hanging themselves and becoming spirits, right? For this weird thing to eat it. But no, it consumes it. It's kind of nice because I wasn't really sure the purpose initially of them using the coin to kind of map out where the spirit is, because we knew it was inside the room. Turns out the thing that was spooking all throughout the episode is actually a decoy, and the real thing was like right above, just basically waiting to get the drop on you. And I love the savagery, just the insanity of this kid who can start strangling a fool. She climbs up that thing like it's Mount Everest, rips the ears or the hair off, strangles it to near death, says, let him go. The fact that spits it out, and she's like, I never said I'd stop, and just keeps on going. Like, holy shit, man. The question I have is at the end when he's leaving their home, she checks his bag and that one stuffed animal's in there. And that's creepy, because that says to me that this thing's got a bit of a connection, a bit of a thirst to go after Keitaro, and somehow without thumbs, that thing managed to go inside his knapsack and zip it back up. I'm a little spooked at these things potentially trailing us home, but that's why I like it, because it feels different than any other horror anime, and I think this is the first time I've truly felt that the blend of comedy meets horror has been done perfectly, that one never distracts from the other. when we're in the car and things are getting like spooky, or any of these moments where things are getting spooky, it plays with the horror, the directing, the music. It is so good. But when it's just them goofing off, it makes sense that it's a little more comedic. And as I keep saying, Keitaro's reason for sticking by a situation that completely terrifies him, doesn't want to be a part of it, makes sense because of his love for Eiko, and obviously his newfound connection with Yayoi, who he truly does value and probably looks at like a little sister at this point, let's be honest. I mean, she literally is doing everything for him to help cure him, and he wants to help her so that the mother spirit can rest in peace. And what's really cool is the fact that they never let things conveniently happen. Like, there's these moments, like with the car, right? So she's very intelligent about exposing, like, there's 3 things that could happen with the spirit. We hit it and it passes through. We hit it and it comes into the car, or we hit it and it actually gets hit. Like, her logic makes a lot of sense. So when she just randomly does these abrupt things that we're like, what is she doing? There's a train of thought that we can follow. And I really appreciate the fact that they just have such fun with, at the end of the day, a pretty basic art design and art style, but it captures the mood lighting and the ominous aura. It does such a good job. And I think the connection between boyfriend and girlfriend and little sister family member type dynamic, and just how twisted the whole situation is so good, and something I really appreciate that they touched upon at the end, because I've seen some people talk some shit about Keitaro. He doesn't do a whole lot. It's really all Yayoi who ends up capturing. But we have to also remember, and she says it at the end of this episode, while yes, he technically is considered bait, she's been catching more spirits than ever because the spirits are attracted to him. Without him, we wouldn't be capturing these spirits. Like, let's be honest, she'd be maybe doing 1 a month at best. So they all have kind of a purpose. I think really Eiko's purpose at this point is to kind of be like, she's the one who drives him around, kind of keeps them together, but at the same time, it's her love story with Keitaro that's so dark and twisted that has us eager for more. And they all serve a purpose for this very fascinating horror thriller series. I will continue to hype this show up until it's over. I'm convinced that this show can do no wrong, for me anyway. I think they've had a variety of interesting spirits, and it's interesting because a lot of what we've touched upon is seemingly based around reality. Like, I think it was the suicide building 2 episodes back, give or take, that was actually based on a real story from, I guess, our own world. So it's kind of cool how they blend. I'm not sure if they're all based on our own situations, or if like some are influenced and some are brand new, but either way, I think it helps because when you look at these, you're like, yeah, this is a natural spooky story that you could see being told, or, oh, you know, there's talk of this woman who keeps wandering, getting hit by the cars because she was hit by the car in her death, right? It all just makes a lot of sense, and it doesn't really feel like jump scares, but really well thought out thriller. At least that's how I'm feeling. But I'd love to know what everyone thought, because I'm loving this show more and more. I think it's going to be my new anime of the season, not including carryovers or sequels, but let me know what you thought down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here. Of course, ring that bell if you want to see new videos as soon as they're uploaded. And hey, like I mentioned, we do have a full live reaction to today's Dark Gathering episode available on my Patreon. And while you're there, you'll also get a video shout out like Joshua Kingsley, Meteor, Ryan, Missing No Leader, Fanny DuPont, and Jade are getting today. I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care and have a good one.